Hi everyone, Louise again. I just wanted to come on here today to explain to you a little bit about self-love. Self-love has been the hardest thing for me to break. My self-doubt, my lack of confidence, my whole life was really held back by a lack of self-love. And I didn't realize at the time that a lot of every part of my life was affected. I thought it was just relationships or being in social situations where I couldn't feel like I was worthy or people was better than me. This is a language I used a lot with myself. But then I didn't realize that it also affected things that you wouldn't think, things that I didn't actually really notice till later. So I would go to meetings or events and then I'd always feel inadequate next to successful people. I would never feel like I was enough or good enough, and especially people who was educated, people who went to university and that kind of lines, I would always feel inadequate, not worthy. And it was only when I sat down to do my beliefs that I started realizing the pattern that goes throughout your life. So what I really recommend for you to transform your life was really to work on the inside of you. But to be able to get to the inside, which you need to get to, you have to work really from the outside in. And I know this will be controversial because everybody goes, you have to work from the inside out. There's a reason why I say this, because it worked for me. I went from the outside in because the outside is where we held our beliefs from. So my outside world, all the chatter, all the things that I've heard about myself, all the things that I've adopted, I had to adjust them first. So I started with the outside of the beliefs, everything I've heard about myself, and then almost worked my way inside. So I got rid of all of these things that people had told me that I am and tried to work out if I actually am there. So I was told a lot when I was a kid that I don't speak very loud, that I can't do public speaking because I'm too quiet. And I always thought that was a belief, well, a true belief, because when I was a kid, I kind of lost my hearing for quite some time and I had operations on my ears to improve it. So I always thought it was from that, but it wasn't actually from that. This is the belief that I formed that I kept thinking, yeah, it must be from that, it must be from that. It wasn't, it was just a sort of total lack of self-love. So I'm not sure if you probably have heard, if you listen to me, you've probably heard of the other great Louise Hay. If you haven't, I recommend you get some of her books or at least listen to her on YouTube. But there's one thing that I really learned from her, which a lot of people talk about, but it wasn't until I did this very exercise that I started to go, aha, and I want to show you what it is. It is called mirror work. So I've got here somewhere a mirror and I want you to join me. So quickly go run, get your mirror, and I'll wait. Okay, so I really hope you have it now. The first step is just look into your mirror. And the reason why, because the first thing I used to do when I looked inside the mirror was this. You look a bit tired today. Your hair looks a mess. Well, that color's not that great on. You judge automatically. Who of you goes to the mirror and goes, ow, you look bloody amazing today? Well, I never did. I used to look in the mirror and come up with 100 things about why I was not good enough. So when I read Louise Hay's book and watched some of the videos on YouTube, she recommends that you hold up the mirror and look into your own eyes, so his me, and say your name, Louise, I love you. And every time I say that now, still have strained feeling inside. It's almost as if it goes inside your heart, and it does take a little getting used to. Because at first it feels like, whoa, because you never said that to yourself before. But now, every morning I wake up, I go to the toilet, brush my teeth, and I go straight to the mirror and I'm like, Louise, I love you. See how much easier it is. It comes out now. The first time wasn't like that, I assure you. So what I recommend every single day is to go to your mirror and say your name followed by I love you. But also what I recommend is every time you go past the mirror and you look in the mirror, stop judging of you. Stop thinking you're not enough. Look in the mirror and say, I like your hair today. I like the way you look. Look who's owning it. So I want you to go and make friends with your mirror and let me know how you get on.